Mm. Ugh. You gotta stay hydrated out in the desert, you know? It gets hot. Oh. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of tonight's double feature. My name is Paul Brooks, and last time on the show, we did 2 episodes that had a lot of snow in them, and it's snowing outside right now here in central Illinois, and I have to be honest with you guys, I'm starting to get a little bit sick of it. So I thought we would do something very different, mix it up from all the snow that's happening right now. Also, if you caught our video special review of Showgirls that came out earlier this week on our YouTube channel, or if you caught the teaser episode, you may have noticed that I mentioned a couple movies about a road that I wanted to talk about, and so that's what this episode is all about. I'm fulfilling that contractual obligation by talking about, here, hold on. I brought up, I have my tablet here so I can bring up a photo for you guys so that I don't have to do a bunch of editing later. Tonight we're going to be talking about a little something called Zyzzyx Road. I'll zoom in a little bit closer for you. See that? Zyzzyx Road. This is a real road. If you're driving in between Las Vegas to Los Angeles or back and forth, you'll probably notice this along the way. It's a real road. It's out there. You can go to it. I've actually been to it myself. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But what we're here to discuss, the movies that we're here to discuss, are all about Zyzzyx Road. We have one here called Zyzzyx Road. See that? Zyzzyx Road. And then the other one that we're going to talk about is just called Zyzzyx. So we got here, let's just get our thumbnail out of the way. Let's just get real weird with this, you know? There you go. Zyzzyx. My ring light's giving me problems per usual. There we go. Yeah. We're going to start with Zyzzyx Road. This movie stars Katherine Heigl, Leo Grillo, and Tom Sizemore, as you can see on the cover right here. And this movie is famous because it only grossed like $30. There was this story that came out in like 2007 where someone from, I think, chud.com was flipping around looking at Tom Sizemore's filmography and somehow realized that this movie had only made $30 at the box office. Now, of course, today things are very different, and the story is much more complicated than that, but this movie kind of had its little viral moment, if you will, because it made $30 at the box office, 10 of which was returned. So technically speaking, it only made about 20 bucks at the box office on a budget of, I think, 1.2 mil, something like that. But this is a movie that is all about, it's kind of a crime thriller, I guess you would say, with the three characters in this movie. They go down Zyzzyx Road because, again, it is a real road, and some people seem to think that weird stuff is happening out there. But basically what this movie is about is Katherine Heigl's character is hanging out with Leo Grillo's character, and this guy produced the film and is very into sort of like animal rights and things like that, and he has an animal sanctuary out in the desert, or at least he did back when this movie was being made. and they beat up Tom Sizemore. They think he's dead, and so they have him in the trunk of the car, and they take him out to Zyzzyx Road to get rid of his body. Things do not go as planned, and the movie goes on from there. I won't spoil anything, because the thing is about this movie, even though it only grossed $30 at the box office and is kind of, notorious for making so little money, I have to say that I really, for the most part, enjoy this movie. It's very competently made, it's not a masterpiece by any means, but when you hear that something, makes almost no money, you're like, well, it has to be absolutely terrible. And it's just not the case with this film. So I actually have to say that I quite enjoyed it. Katherine Heigl is great in this movie. Her performance is great. This came out, or I should say that she made this movie at a point in her career where she was literally just about to take off. She was shooting this movie, and she was actually not on set for one day because she had to go shoot promos for season 1 of Grey's Anatomy. And obviously that really launched her career in a different direction. So this is like, that was probably nice for the makers of this movie, because she blew up right as she was making this film, Zyzzyx Road. There was also, I read a lot of this stuff from an EW article. I'll go ahead and post a link to it down below if you would like to check it out, because it is actually a really interesting story behind, how this movie only made $30. But the other thing about this is that Tom Sizemore got cast, and he had, had some issues, and apparently the day before he was supposed to start shooting got arrested, and it caused a whole issue, and they didn't know if they were going to have to recast his role and all this stuff, but he ended up showing up and was able to do his role for the film. So Zyzzyx Road, it's kind of got like, well, actually not on the front, but on the back here, dead ahead. It kind of seems like that is maybe the subtitle of the film. And the other thing that I wanted to point out, I'll bring the second movie back in here. If you'll notice, I want to make sure I have this right. Yeah, they're spelled differently. For the Katherine Heigl movie, it's Zyzzyx Road. Do I have that right? These red glasses that I have on, I can't see shit. And then the other one, which is just called Zyzzyx, is Zyzzyx Road. So they're spelled a little bit differently, and I'm wondering if maybe that is because these two movies, oddly enough, basically came out at the same time, or close to it. A very strange, it's the mystery of Zyzzyx Road. It's the mystery of Zyzzyx. It's very strange. But maybe that is the reason that they wanted to sort of slightly distinguish themselves from each other a little bit. So they spelled, because I think, what is the proper, what is the true spelling of it? On this I have Zyzzyx. So actually, yeah, this movie is spelled correctly, and the Katherine Heigl movie is spelled incorrectly, which is fine. Because like I said, I did enjoy this movie, and I do recommend that you check it out. There are some special features. I can't see anything. It doesn't say on the back of the box here, but there actually are some special features on this one. Little behind the scenes featurette and stuff like that. And Katherine Heigl, I mean, come on. She's not difficult on the eyes, you know what I mean? So that's Zyzzyx Road, and then for the second half of our double feature here, we have Zyzzyx. Now, Zyzzyx is I would say, much more low budget. And I wasn't quite sure what to expect with this one. But I gotta be honest with you, I really enjoyed this one as well. I think that if you picked up both of these movies, you could have for yourself a really great little Mystery of Zyzzyx double feature here. Zyzzyx is, you see the quote on the front here, an awesome thriller. The Shield's Kenny Johnson has a raw intensity from Ain't It Cool News. And then also Zyzzyx is creepy, demented, and voyeuristic, says Daniel Myrick, co-creator of the Blair Witch Project. Wow. Yeah, this is an interesting little thing. It's basically about these two guys who are on their way to Vegas, and one of them wants to swing by Zyzzyx Road, which you can do. And they see a guy in the middle of the road, and they kind of sort of accidentally run him over. And from there, everything kicks off. They come across the guy's wife. She has this RV. They hang out with her. They drink beer. It's a very strange movie, but I thought it was actually pretty well done. And look, you can see there's some laurels down here. Best Feature. It won Best Feature at, the Miami Film and Music Festival. And first runner-up Nashville Films Film Festival. I'll give you a look at the back there. It's this girl right here. I don't know her name off the top of my head. I think it's on here. Hold on. Ryan, no. Candace, played by Robin Cohen. And you probably can't recognize her from that. But if you've ever seen Wes Anderson's film, The Life Aquatic, remember that movie with Bill Murray? She's in that. And it's the girl who's naked, who's topless in the whole movie. She's in this movie, and she's great in this. And she's, again, not difficult on the eye. She's adorable in this. This also has a lot of special features on it, which is cool. It's got interviews and a homage to A Clockwork Orange for some reason. Commentary, trailer, all that stuff. Really kind of like, it's got like a kind of, there's a lot of improv aspects to it. You can tell that they kind of said, let's just go out to the desert. Let's kind of have a, like a outline of what we want to do, and let's just kind of go for it. And they did, and I think that they did a great job. It's creepy. It's funny in spots. It's actually really funny in spots. And I want to say, having been to Zyzzyx Road itself, I want to say that they actually filmed this on the real Zyzzyx Road. With this Zyzzyx Road, I don't know that they did. I didn't recognize any of the locations. I know that they shot it out in the Mojave Desert, but I'm not sure if they actually were on the real Zyzzyx Road, where I do feel like in this one, I'm like, I think I recognize that from the real Zyzzyx. So there's a sort of an authenticity to this one that I appreciated as well. Yeah, I didn't pull any photos or anything because I didn't really feel like editing them into the video, but I have been to Zyzzyx Road. There's not a whole lot to it. If you go all the way out to the end, there's this sort of, I'm not quite sure what it was. I was there with Stephanie, and we were kind of trying to figure out exactly what it was. Like not an animal sanctuary, but some sort of like wildlife conservation area or something like that used to be. And part of this movie is kind of goes into what used to be out there. It used to be this health retreat that for whatever reason was a little, I guess, controversial. I'm not totally sure what happened. They kind of claimed that some really terrible, like, atrocities were committed out there. I'm not sure that that's true from what I've read, but there was a guy who used to have a health retreat out there that supposedly you know, if you were sick, would heal you. It's not there anymore, but the runes are still out there. So some people kind of like to go out there and check out, you know, the old like baths or whatever used to be out there. And now there's some like people out there doing some sort of nature stuff. I don't know. It was weird. Like we didn't talk to anybody when we were out there, but it's just kind of cool to say that I've been on Zyzzyx Road and that you have these two movies available if you want to learn, well, not learn more about them, but watch movies that are about Zyzzyx Road. I think this one came out first, and then I think Zyzzyx came out shortly thereafter. Again, both fun movies, both recommended by yours truly, Paul Brooks. I don't know if they're streaming or not. You might have a little difficulty finding them streaming, but you can probably find the DVDs out there for not too much money. I think they are out there. There you go, Zyzzyx Road. I did it. I said I was going to do it on the Showgirls teaser, and I did it. I'm wearing my Showgirls outfit, by the way, from the same thing that I wore on Showgirls. We recorded that like over a year ago, but I thought I would bust it out for this episode. Getting hot out here. I'm just kidding. I'm in my basement, and it's actually snowing outside. I tell you what, I'll before we end the video here, I'll take you outside really quick and show you how much snow we got so that you can further appreciate, you know, hanging out in the desert on Zyzzyx Road. Holy cow. Look at all that snow. Makes me wish I was back out there on Zyzzyx Road.